Alright guys, enough is enough. This is the end of the story. Basically, the time has come for me to quit my beginner account. Uh, I tried to defeat... I actually knew from the beginning that I wouldn't be able to defeat the Fatal Tower. And my biggest concern, I told you that multiple times, my biggest concern was regeneration fights. Since, poison works, but still, they have resistance to bleeds like crazy. And even if I manage to beat some regeneration fights, I'll definitely get stuck at one of them. And this is what happened Battle 154. It's impossible. It's really impossible for me. I tried everything. Alright, let's say not impossible. It's so difficult that it'll probably take me weeks to pass to find a perfect strategy to beat. There are two major problems with this fight for me. The first one is that I cannot power drain them. But that's not really a big deal, you're going to say, yeah. But the second biggest problem is that I cannot snare them. Since I cannot snare them, I cannot control their tagging in and out all the time. Moreover, I cannot really use MK11 Scorpion Fusion Zero because the biggest threat of this fight, Sindel, she resists the fires all the time. Also, she can stun him, and I don't have Cabal and stuff like this. And even if I had Cabal, I don't know whether MK11 Scorpion Fusion Zero will be able to overcome the heals of Scarlet. Once again, I cannot snare her, so one tiny mistake, she's going to tag out, and that's it. My only chance is to get her on Special 1 loop and somehow finish her off by using bleeds and stuff from the combo enders, because in the majority of cases, she's going to resist the fires. And if she resists the fires, I cannot do anything, because the biggest source of damage from MK11 Scorpion Fusion Zero is his fires, but she resists them all the time, because she has a swill. And of course, in this fight, I have to use Combat Cap Sonya. I just cannot... I have to use her. Without her, if I'm fighting 3 of them at once, it is absolutely impossible. The best I could do at Battle 154 is to kill one of them. Once I killed MK11 Raiden, and that's it. But since my Stun Double Johnny Cage is the only fighter of this team, I cannot snare them, I cannot power drain them, and that's a big problem, a serious problem. And I don't have enough block breaking chance, so you can tell I can put them in Special 1 loop. I can, but at some point they're going to generate power. And if once I fail to break blocks, they're going to destroy me. So, especially Raiden with his special tools, Cinder with her special tool, so many powerful special tools. This MK11 Fujin with special tool. Of course, I'm going to tag him out in the beginning of the fight using Sonya. But still, this is a good way to showcase that Johnny Cage, I certainly love this guy, Stun Double Johnny Cage, but this is where he fails. His low stats just fail him from becoming an S tier gold card. He simply doesn't do a lot of damage. Even with Fusion level 2 blue piece and maxed out green piece, his special 1 deals about 50k damage on regular. Of course, if he crits on does a little strike, he do more, but regularly deals like 50,000 damage, and that's not enough. Currently they have a lot of health, as you can currently see, and they're regenerating like crazy. So yeah, it is really ironic because they beat Battle 141 to Battle 154 or 53 without any problems whatsoever. I didn't lose even once. And then Battle 154, the moment I saw it, I knew this is the end of me trying to beat Fatal with this team. And let's face it, even if I somehow beat it after a couple of days trying, I will inevitably get stuck somewhere else and I won't be able to beat it. It's simply impossible, in my opinion. If somebody wants to prove me wrong, that's not a problem. If Legendus wants to prove me wrong, I would love Legendus to try to beat this fight on my account. I would really love. Quite frankly, once again, I don't think it's 100% impossible. I think it's close to impossible. And I don't think it's worth trying because, let's face it, even if I somehow find a way and beat it and I publish it to YouTube, it will take like 2,000 views. 2,500 tops. So it's going to be like me a regular fight when I beat stages with maxed out tower equipment. And which one of those is going to cost me more efforts, right? You guessed it. The one with low equipment and low characters. So yeah, this is all from me for my beginner account for now, guys. I'm just going to take a rest and I'll focus on doing some kind of a guides and stuff on my main account. Yeah, if you have beaten this stage, if you can give me a, I don't know, it is time for you to give me a tip. How can I possibly, not a tip, but a hint, how can I possibly beat the stage? You all know my account, my strongest characters, Tremors, Johnny Cage. I have Slasher Jason. Slasher Jason, unfortunately, Poison without Ravenous Melina isn't enough to just negate the damage from. And the problem is they constantly tag in and out, all the time. I cannot power drain them, and that's the biggest problem. I cannot freaking power drain them. If I could power drain this fight, I could beat it without problems. But since I can't, that's a big problem. Whew. And yeah, basically this is it, guys. Unfortunately, this is it. Probably for good. I mean, when I say for good, I don't mean forever, but I mean it is probably for good that it's over, because I will take a rest from fighting difficult fights on my beginner account. It's been a while. I almost reached battle 160, let's face it. With this account, it's pretty difficult to do. And let's be real, guys, the last 2 towers, the last 3 towers are pretty difficult fatals. For instance, you cannot compare Dark Queen Tower or this tower with, let's say, Sorcerer Tower that I beat on my beginner account. They're like 3 times more difficult. I don't remember one difficult fight in the Sorcerer Tower. Okay, probably there were 2 or 3 fights that took me 3 or 4 attempts to beat the Fatal Sorcerer Tower, but this one, it's on completely different level. It's on completely different level. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. After all, this is meant to be the end game mode, right? So if you beat that, you basically are good. You're good to go. But yeah, it will require a little bit more. At least it will require to have maxed out Combat Cup team. Or let's say some diamonds that are at least Fusion 4. MK11 Scorpion, Fusion 5, Fusion 6 would be good here. Cabal to support him for the stuns. That would do. But since I don't have MK11 Scorpion, Fusion 0 MK11 Scorpion in this fight wouldn't do anything. Unfortunately, since his fires don't work, I could probably kill one of the 2, Raiden or Fujin, but I cannot do anything against Sindel because she resists fire all the time. Another possible thing would be to break her item that makes sure that she resists fire, but that's getting too complicated, too difficult. My Treacherous Tana is Fusion 0, or let's say level 5 or something like this. She's extremely weak, so pulling that off will be a miracle. Once again, even if I do that, even if I somehow pull that off and beat this stage, it won't be worth for me in terms of views and stuff and subscribers. It's simply not worth. A lot of you are saying, you are blaming me for instance, beating this tower with maxed out equipment and stuff, but you have to understand, guys, that doing tutorials with gold teams and whatever doesn't pay off in YouTube. And you can do it once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, and the 11th time you're like, okay, why do I keep doing that? It doesn't pay off. People would actually want me to see. I mean, I'm not saying that people don't like seeing that, but what I'm saying is that it is the same thing. If I do a video of me beating, let's say, Elder Tower with maxed out equipment, it will generate more views than me beating Elder Tower with not maxed out equipment. I don't know why. In the moment when I started the channel, I thought that people want to see more epic gameplays with weak teams, but it's not the case. Sometimes they won't, but the majority of them simply don't. And that's really strange. And after doing that over and over and over again, at some point I said to myself, okay, is it still worth doing that? Is it still worth? I think now it isn't, and that's the sad truth. Alright guys, so if I have to summarize the video, this is the end for me on my beginner account. Probably I'm going to do battle 110 on normal tower. Once again, or probably, let's say, I'm going to do battle 100 normal. I reckon that if I had Ravenous Melina, probably I would stand a chance. But since I don't, it is almost impossible for me to overcome the healing. So Ravenous Melina would be a key. Unfortunately, I don't have her. So what I will do, I will keep, let's say I will do normal tower one more time to get one more diamond. Or if I get one more Cassie, I'll be really pissed. Anyways, guys, it's going to be all for me today. See you next time. Take care. And yeah, stay safe.
Perfect.